Hello guys, welcome back to the next class of Indian Evidence Act. In the last class, we dealt with the competency of witnesses who can be a competent witness. Now in today's class, we'll be dealing with privileges of witnesses 121 to 132. Now this entire area will be based upon this section of 132, which states that a witness shall be compelled to answer any question. Okay, but there are certain cases where witnesses cannot be compelled or where witnesses cannot be permitted. So two terminologies are used: compelled and permitted. So the area of compelled will be section 121, 124, 125, 129 and 130. In these sections, witnesses cannot be compelled. When we come to permitted, the area is under 122, 123, 126 to 128. So in these sections, witnesses cannot be permitted to give evidence. Now, section 132 states that a witness can be compelled to answer any question. This principle is opposite to English law. In English law, there is this principle that you cannot compel any witness to answer any question if such answer has a tendency to incriminate him in any civil or criminal proceedings. But we have the very opposite in our Evidence Act. Earlier we used to follow this principle of principle of English law, where we gave the privilege to witnesses that he can be excused from answering questions if such question has a tendency to incriminate him. But when we used to follow this principle, we saw that there is a miscarriage of justice, because witnesses used to make this excuses in every point of time. So with this Indian Evidence Act of 1872, by section 132, we made every witness compellable to answer every question irrespective of the fact that it would incriminate him. So let's now read what section 132 exactly states. Section 132 states that a witness shall not be excused from answering any question as to any matter relevant in issue either in civil or in criminal proceedings upon the ground that the answer to such question will criminate him or may directly or indirectly to criminate him, or it will expose him or tend directly or indirectly to expose him. So irrespective of the fact that it will expose him to any criminal charge or it would criminate him to any matter, he will always be compelled to answer any question if that question is relevant to the suit or proceedings, irrespective of the nature of such proceedings, that it is a civil one or it is a criminal one. However, there is one proviso with this 132, which states that if we compel any witness to answer any question, then such an answer will not be used against him in any of the criminal proceedings. Okay, and he will not be subject to arrest by virtue of the answer he had given. This is the proviso to 132. Now the general rule that the witness shall be compelled to answer is subjected to certain exceptions, which is when he has a right to deny answer. If a witness has a right to deny by virtue of law, then he can make such denial. Number two, when he cannot be compelled to answer. Now, compelled to answer these areas. Okay, in these two cases, the witness can be excused from answering any question, even if the question is relevant to the suit or proceedings. Now, non-compellable witness: 121, 124, 125, 129 and 131. Let's see them one by one. Section 121 deals with judges and magistrates. This section states that you cannot compel any judge or magistrate to answer any question if it relates as to his own conduct in such court in which he is acting as a judge or magistrate, or as to anything which has come into his knowledge by virtue of acting as a judge or magistrate. So the section states a judge or magistrate cannot be compelled to answer except upon a special order of a higher court, okay, about his own conduct or about anything which he came to know as a court. In both these two cases, you cannot compel a judge or magistrate to answer any question. Now, this section is subjected to 3 exceptions here. Exception number 1, he can be asked question with the special order of a superior court. So any if any judge has to be asked any question as to his own conduct or as to his knowledge, then it can be done by a special order of a superior court. Okay. Number 2, he can be asked questions about the matter which are occurred in his presence while he is acting in such court. So if anything which happened in the court while he was sitting and acting as a judge or magistrate, then he can be asked questions, he can be compelled to answer questions which occurred in his presence. For this we have an example under the Act. Here A is accused before the court of session of attempting to murder a police officer while on his trial before B, who was a session judge. B may be examined as to what occurred. Since there was some trial going on and this person A tried to commit a murder of police officer during the trial, during the court proceedings. So this is something which occurred in the presence of such judge or magistrate, and therefore he can be compelled to answer as to such occurrence. Example number one deals with the conduct. A on his trial before the court of session says that disposition was improperly taken by B the magistrate. B cannot be compelled to answer because this is with respect to his own conduct as a judge or magistrate. This is an example of conduct. Number 2, A is accused before the court of session of having given false evidence before B, a magistrate. B cannot be asked except upon a special order of a superior court. Now this is with respect to his knowledge. He came to know what B stated. Sorry, what A stated. Okay. So a judge or magistrate cannot be compelled to answer any question if it relates to his conduct or if it relates to anything which he came to know while acting as a judge or magistrate. But this is subjected to 3 exceptions. Number 1, he can be asked by a special order of a court to which he is subordinate. Number 2, to which he is subordinate, superior court can ask questions. Number 2, if it relates to anything which happened in his presence during the trial or during the proceedings. Number 3, he can waive this privilege. Now, it is important to note that the term used under section 121 is no magistrate can be compelled. That means the waiver lies with the judge or magistrate himself. He can make a statement, and if he makes any such statements, he is said to waive his right. Okay, therefore, he cannot be compelled to answer. But he has this discretion to waive his privilege. These are the 3 exceptions.